What's up, guys? Welcome back to Bucs Talk. We got some more news to discuss. Ross Cockrell was among the cuts as Bucs hit new roster limit. So Ross Cockrell, he was here last year, last few years, and if you follow us, we just weren't the most happy or pleased with his speed on the field, and just we thought there was an area for an improvement. And clearly, the Bucs are. He was one of the first cuts. And what does that exactly mean? When we look at our depth chart, I mean, the main three corners you see at the top: Carlton Davis, Jamel Dean, SMB. They've been your cornerstones for 4 or 5 years now. After that, it's where you need to get improvements. They drafted Zion McCollum. Yeah, so that's at least four guys that would be on your roster. If not D. Delaney, after that, the competition is what is it going to be? But our case is cornerback position. Yes, you've heard Antoine Winfield being practicing in the nickel position. Logan Ryan has played that in the past. Mike Edwards has played it in the past. So we have very multiple safeties that can play this position. And also bringing that to fruition as well, let's hear what Todd Bowles had to say about Logan Ryan playing and just in general in the defense.
Logan Ryan's come in and been a joy to work with. His work ethic, his intelligence, and the way he prepares for practice is unbelievable. Going out there, trying to learn something every day and doing the right things, as well as helping the other guys.
So you hear Todd Bowles talk good things. We've been talking good things. But initially, plus, what are your thoughts on Ross Cockrell being cut? And then where are we going to fill that void with players that are already on the roster?
Right. Yeah. I think Ross, I mean, that was pretty much, writing was on the wall because last year it just seemed like he definitely lost some athleticism and the speed of for him just wasn't available. Just didn't have that extra gear. They were moving him around to, safety and then, playing some corner. But it just seemed like they wanted to get, faster and they definitely added, speed with Zion McCollum. And then they have guys like Rashad Robinson and Don Gardner, Kyler McMichael. So guys like these who, have more athletic ability, even though they're young, they feel like that's the move to go to.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And he was almost at times getting picked on when the opposing quarterback would see him on the field, they would attack that spot, and that's what you're supposed to do: find an area of weakness and keep hitting it. We've seen this happen multiple times before, and I think the Bucs are just noticing this and making improvements towards it. So now more on what our safeties can do. I mean, Logan Ryan, you heard Todd Bowles get talked up pretty good. I mean, he's a very smart player. He's played nickel before. He can play deep safety. Then you have Edwards, and Antoine Winfield Jr. also being put in there in their test trial areas to see if they can do it in a pinch. So, looking at that, the corners we have on the roster, and then the safeties that can do multiple. How do you see it playing out? Like, how many corners, how many safeties? Bring it out.
Yeah, I think when you look at the safety group, I think um, there's flexibility. So like you said, Logan Ryan, he can play in the slot. You have Antoine Winfield who can also play that position. So it can give you flexibility where you could go five safeties and maybe go four corners if they wanted to do that. You look at a guy like Nolan Turner. Let me bring back up the depth chart here real quick if I can. But just look at it. There we go.
Yeah.
So I mean, you look at the depth chart. Carlton Davis, obviously, and then Jamel Dean are your top two. Sean Murphy Bunting, Zion McCollum, but it remains to be seen. Do they keep a D Delaney? Do they keep a Rashad Robinson? Guys like that, or do they go with a guy like Nolan Turner, who has shown some flexibility as well? Maybe they go with him as a fifth safety. Really, just depends on what they want. I feel they'll still go five corners and
Yeah.
four safeties, just because guys in the past have gotten hurt. Jamel Dean and Sean have struggled with injuries.
Same with Carlton. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just hard to keep all these guys healthy. And with the history we already have, I wouldn't push your luck. Let's put it that way. So I agree with you. The five corners is more likely and four safeties, but it's telling with the ability that these safeties have. I think we're a little bit more covered insurance wise if one of them does go down. Hopefully not for a long time.
Right, I would agree with that. I think overall it's a good group, and definitely with the move of Ross Cockrell, being released, they get faster on the field, they get more athletic ability. I think they wanted to get faster on special teams as well, but also gives opportunities for other guys maybe to develop and get better overall as a group. So I think from that standpoint, it looks pretty good. It looks solid on paper. We just got to see how it plays out.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're keeping pushing out content left and right. Make sure to hit that like button down below. Support the channel. Comment down below. Is Ross Cockrell being cut a bad decision? Is it a smart decision? Where do you see them filling that void? Let us know in the comments down below. And with that said, until the next one.